Good morning to one and all present here. This is Padma Priya, Assistant Professor, Faculty of Computer Application, Dr.M.G.R. Educational and Research Institute, Maduravoyal, Chennai. Knowledge is like a mobile application where we need to update often. Main motto of this student development program is to gain the knowledge on cyber security. Every event has good effects forever. We have stepped into fourth day of student development program of Value Addition on Emerging Technologies Season 2. Now we would like to share our university AB. Ma'am, please.
வேற வேற. ஆனா எங்க எல்லாருக்கும் ஒரு ஒத்துமை இருக்கு. நாங்க எல்லாரும் ஒன்னா உருவானோம். எங்களுக்குள்ள ஒரு அழகான நட்பும் சமுதாயத்துல ஒரு உயர்ந்த அங்கீகாரமும் அமைச்சு கொடுத்தது எங்க எம்ஜிஆர் யூனிவர்சிட்டி. Our university united us.
Dr.M.G.R. Educational and Research Institute, University, Maduravoyal, Chennai.
Talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence wins a championship. As a teamwork, we would like to share our department video. Thank you, our team. Macans Technology is an institution to train and create a revolution on cyber secure, safe society for today's world. Macans provide training program on cyber security, cloud computing, digital forensic investigation for universities, schools, technical, non-technical graduates, police officer, government, and corporates. Makan Technology has been honored with Excellence in Cyber Threat Management Literacy Award at Second International Cyber Security Summit and Award 2021, organized during WSIS Forum, a United Nations event in Geneva, Switzerland, by CMAI Association of India. Macans and Mr. Work has received appreciation certificate for extraordinary work done in high-profile cases, excellent execution of work, highest integrity, work day and night continuously, and Mr. Samir Wakande, Sir, Zonal Director, NCB facilitated Mr. Wag, and Digital Forensic Investigation Team. Now I would like to invite Dr. Nirmala Sugirtarajini to introduce the today's speaker.
Very good morning to everyone. I am very glad to introduce the speakers, Mrs. Sridevi Shettiva and Dr. Karthik Rao, to talk about the topic, Someone is Watching You, Macans Digital Detox. Initially, I introduced Mrs. Sridevi Shettiva, has been an entertainment industry for almost 15 years and owns a film production company, Cast Media Entertainment. Being from the glamour industry and having worked as a PR executive in event management for many years, and now having her own company into films, PR, events, she is well connected to several media houses, events, companies, and associated with famous Bollywood celebrities along with the key personalities from the corporate world. She has been the convener for various events, celebrity endorsement, celebrity promotions, film promotions, press conferences, and coverages, executing corporate events, and so many more endeavors in events, media, and the entertainment space. He has been a part of Hindi, Punjabi, and Marathi films as an executive producer and productions. She is a director of Macans Technologies Private Limited, Gifting Vayo, Amas Ruchi Private Limited, and a partner in Cast Media Entertainment. So I welcome you, ma'am. So then I introduce Dr. Karthik Rao, who has done in Dairy MBBS. Is a life member of Indian Psychiatry Society, American Psychiatry Association, Indian Medical Association, Association of Medical Consultants. Has been awarded Dr. A.R. Patel for Best Presentation in Staff Society of BIOL, Nair, CH Hospital, Study of Aggregation in Psychiatry in Patients, and National Scholarship Certification for the marks obtained in SSC exams. He has teaching experience in honorary psychiatrist at CMPH Homeopathic Medical College from 2006 to 2014. He conducted various lectures and tutorials for homeopathic medical students. Dr. Karthik Rao is a top player in the category psychiatrist in Mumbai. He has conducted various programs in school center for mental health problems. He is a skilled and awarded doctor in the field of specializations. I welcome you, sir. So once again, I thank the organizing team for giving us such wonderful opportunity for introducing the speakers. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Nirmala ma'am. Thank you so much, Padma Priya.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. I mean, it was a pleasure conducting all these webinars. All 3 days was an amazing journey for us. It was like a family. And today is the 4th day. And I'm sure it's going to be an interesting topic with Dr. Karthik Rao, who is a cyber consultant psychiatrist. In fact, like I told you last time, we had started our company during the lockdown, that is in March. And then you must have heard about Sushant Singh's death. We started our webinar on the same day, that is June 14th. So he completed 1 year. And it was a really sad thing that we lost somebody from the Bollywood industry. I mean, he was a heartthrob of the youth and, of course, the Bollywood and the entire industry. So, I mean, slowly we realized that something is missing. Like, you know, people are not addressing the problem of depression. So I spoke to Dr. Karthik. Karthik happens to be my school friend. So he initially he said, I'm ready for the awareness program and all. So this is how we started. I mean, cyber psychology is related to technology. So a lot of people, I mean, today's topic is someone is watching you. So we have this psychological problem that someone is watching you, someone is watching you. Actually, nobody is actually watching, but it is a sign of mental, I mean, not a mental problem, it's a depression. So we wanted to address it to all the schools, all I mean, colleges, parents, teachers, who should actually promote this kind of awareness program every time, so that the students or the parents should come forward and speak to their doctors or their families, so that it doesn't get into any kind of suicide. I mean, I will just share you a case in Karnataka. A boy who was playing PUBG, his father just said that, you know, he stop playing PUBG and study. He got so violent that he chopped his father into pieces. I don't know whether you all must have heard, it was in the newspaper in Bangalore. He chopped his father. So somehow I think digital is affecting a lot of people. There are advantages and disadvantages. So we have Dr. Karthik on board who will address these problems and tell you how to react and how to address this problem. And people should come forward. It's not a disease. I mean, it's not a mental problem. It's like how you have diabetes or you have an asthma problem. So you should just go freely, talk to your doctor, and doctor will obviously not do publicity of any kind. I mean, anything. I mean, a lot of celebrities or in the industry, I mean, due to this high pressure in the industry, people get into depression. Maybe even we might be into depression. So we need to keep on consulting our doctors and create kind of an awareness that we have been doing this all this while. And thanks to Dr. Karthik, he's been very supportive. I mean, whenever needed or required, he's always been there, because he's also quite busy because he's been doing online counseling for a lot of patients. So it becomes very difficult for him also to do a lot of webinars. But he makes it a point that he comes for any kind of webinar where I'm inviting him. He's part of Macans Technology and he's a cyber doctor. So I would welcome Dr. Karthik Rao. I mean, Padma ma'am and the entire team has introduced him. So I don't think I need to introduce or speak much about him. He's one of the well-known doctor of Mumbai. So I welcome Dr. Karthik. Dr. Karthik. Karthik, unmute your...
Yeah, thanks a lot, Sridevi, for all the namaste, for all the kind words you've given, and also Primala ma'am and Padma ma'am and the entire team from M.G.R. University. It's a privilege to be here and speak to in such a nice environment. Actually, this is actually all due to Macans' efforts. The team has really put in a lot of efforts to get this talk organized, and I'm really be like an honor to be be part of this talk. And but it's a very important thing which Sridevi mentioned, is that people are not aware completely about what is depression, what are the other type of psychological problems we can go through, and this is something which we all go through. Like our brain is part of our body, and I think in today's talk I will try to introduce where we can be more careful and what we can do to prevent and solve these problems. Can I start sharing the slides?
Sir? Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sure, sir.
Yeah, sure. So I think today's topic is very catchy. Someone is watching you. So, this is who is this someone, and why is he watching all of us? So we actually, you must have seen through our talks during the Macans team must have told you, whenever we are on the internet, Google, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, there is always some amount of cookies which are there in our laptop where, we suppose if we search for a nice bike on Google, we want to buy a new bike, then we will get ads which are related to that bike, maybe Bajaj or Honda or all these other bike companies will send the ads to you, or, you may get Cars 24 or other ads which are coming to you. So there is somewhere, things which are recommended ads, or which are, which will help us maybe use the internet better. These kind of recommendations will come. But imagine when we are scared, suppose we are stressed out or we are very anxious. That time, if something like this happens, we also get little unnerved. What is happening? Is whatever I'm doing on the internet, is it dangerous or something? Is someone watching me? And have you heard of when we go to a picnic? Like someone who's walking in the dark, in the picnic when there is no light, or near the forest, we are on a trek or something. I always like to go for a trek, if there's a chance I don't miss it. So I'm sure you all also must be going. And imagine if it's dark and we are walking on the forest floor and suddenly we step on a leaf, so the leaf cracks. So when we are happy, we are talking to our friends, we don't even notice the leaf cracking. But suppose if you are scared, or someone who's scared of darkness, or someone who's scared of wild animals, even there is a small
Please, sir, sorry for the interruption, sir. Will you
Yeah.
please show a slideshow? Start with a slideshow.
Okay. Yeah, so I was just giving this introduction where people are walking in the dark and they get scared, So someone who's scared will actually feel as if there is some wild animal or there's some robber or there's some, terrorist or something like a, dangerous person who's going to attack me. So that is the same thing which happens when you're on the internet. Like this is what happened to one of our clients who came to our clinic. He said, Amit actually was a student in architecture and he was fearful that there's someone who's tracking him. He felt so scared that the phone cameras, the laptop cameras are all recording him. Even when the laptop is off or even if the camera is off, he felt that they're recording him even when he's sitting and watching TV. Like, and he got so scared. He was scared to go to the bathroom. He was scared to go out of the house. He stopped using the laptop. He got so scared, and the anxiety built up so much that he lost his sleep also. And when he went outside and for a walk in the garden, first of all, it's lockdown in Bombay and it's not easy to go out. But even if he went out, he felt that many people are following him, and he got so disturbed. Imagine such an active boy. Suddenly, he started deleting all his social media accounts. He felt, people are tracking him on Facebook, people are following him, and keeping a track of whatever he's doing. He deleted his Facebook account, he deleted his Instagram account, he deleted his Google account also. So all these things was really disturbing his wife. His mother also actually started getting upset, and when they came to Macans, they said that please check all our phones and our laptop also. I want to check if someone is hacking our mobile or laptop. So our team checked, Macans sir and our team checked that all the mobile and the laptop, everything was fine. There was no hacking at all. And we decided we need to evaluate Amit. Why is he thinking like this? So when we went into his last 2-3 months, we found out that his architecture exams, the final exams presentation was very hectic. He had to work very hard for his presentations. He was working day and night. A lot of pending work was there, and that stress. How will the teachers or how will the seniors or how will the mentor, or rate him? He felt, he may fail the exams. He's worked hard for 4 years, and what if he fails? So this whole stress and that fear of failing got into him so much that he started getting, these are called delusions. Like when we explained to him that it was not hacked, also the mobile is fine, the laptop is fine, he was not ready to accept it. Those ideas in his mind that someone is hacking him got so much in his mind that he was completely believing in whatever he was thinking. He felt that no, there is something wrong. There may be some technology which is hacking him and tracking him. And then he also started getting hallucinations. He felt that someone is telling him, we can follow you, we can check you, we know everything what's happening. So these kind of what we call as auditory hallucinations started coming. So this is something which is very rare, where this kind of a psychological reaction is called as psychosis. So we explained to his mother, we explained to his father that this is what Amit is going through, and this is a neurochemical imbalance. When we say the brain has so many chemicals, you must have heard about adrenaline. So when we go on a picnic or if we go on a roller coaster, how we get an adrenaline rush. Suppose we are playing a match and it's a fast over the climax, and we are India is going to win the match. How we get an adrenaline rush. So these kind of neurotransmitters, the neurochemicals which are in the brain, they send signals to different parts of the brain. So sometimes when there's an imbalance of these neurochemicals, so one of the neurochemical is called dopamine. So in Amit's case, his dopamine activity became more in certain areas of the brain, and that is how the brain started sending him wrong signals. So these thoughts which are there in his brain, they became very fixed. They could not be erased. Like when we try to convince him that this is not, there's no hacking at all. There is nothing to be scared
Sir,
of. He was not.
sorry
Yeah,
to disturb you, sir.
yeah.
Your slide is not moving, sir.
Uh,
You enable editing, sir. That you press that enable editing, and then
In the top, enable editing, sir.
So you can on this enable editing and then you can start the slideshow.
okay.
Yeah.
Now it's okay.
Okay,
Is it
sir.
come? Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's clear now, sir.
Okay. Sorry for this technological.
It's okay, sir. No problem.
Yeah, right.
No issues, sir.
Is my slide visible now?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
You have to share that, sir.
Okay.
You please share that, sir.
Yes, yes. Is it visible?
So now it's
Yeah,
visible,
it's
sir.
visible, sir.
Okay, right. All right. So that's how we try to discuss with the family. We spoke to Amit also, and we said that this is a treatable condition. Like once we give the medicines which will help the neurotransmitters in the brain, we will start be feeling more relaxed, and this fear and all the symptoms will come down. And he has done very well. And with this counseling it took almost 1 or 2 months, but in 1 or 2 months he cleared his BR exam, he cleared his final exams. And just the latest news is that last month he got a placement in a very reputed architectural firm, and he's been able to contribute very much to his new company. And he and his family, all of them, are very satisfied with the improvement which they have seen. And this is what we I want to convey to all people, not even the students, the teachers, that this is how we can make a definite positive impact in the life of a person. It's the person and the family. Once they see the improvement, once they see that he's able to perform in his studies, in his work, they will thank you that you have guided him to the right place. So if we can take steps towards recovery, there is definitely a good chance of recovery in most cases. And just to go to the next example, I would like to again go to what Sridevi mentioned in the introduction. Like children are getting addicted to a lot of cyber games, mobile games which are coming on the internet. So you must have seen example of PUBG, which is very popular, which was banned, and again it has come up. Call of Duty. So we had another client who was Master Devang. He was in the seventh standard. Imagine, he had just mother had just bought him a new mobile phone, and in the lockdown, everything was online. The classes were online. There was no school time where he had to leave the phone at home and go to school. So 24 hours he had access to his mobile, and he became so addicted to his Call of Duty and PUBG that he started missing his online classes. And soon, in the next 2-3 months, he started failing his exams. And this is what, when the mother tried to stop him from playing the mobile, or she tried to take away the mobile, he started getting so aggressive with his mother. He started shouting at her, abusing her, even pushing her away. And he was not ready to come out of this room. 24 hours he was in the room. He's locked to his room. So this was again a very tragic story. And this story actually is very common in all our household, because if we don't keep a watch on our very young students and friends, I'm sure students who are watching it, you can probably keep a watch on your friends. When your friends are uh, getting so much addicted to the mobile phone or the laptop, they may be addicted to porn, they may be addicted to mobile games. There's a study on Facebook that if you do only watch Facebook for a long time, you're only watching what we called as a glamorized image of others. They are only putting up photos where everything looks perfect. So this is what we call as a fear of missing out, FOMO. So here, what you feel that everyone is having a better life, and I am not able to, keep up with them. So that is what they have noticed in Facebook. They have done a research all over the world that people who are being very passive on Facebook, they become more and more depressed. They are not contributing. They are not putting up their own posts. They are just watching others, and they get more and more depressed. The same thing happens with Instagram also. You are just checking Instagram, and you're checking your friends. You're checking whether they're online, or you're messaging them, or checking whether they're liking your posts, and then you get addicted to it. 24 hours you're checking Instagram. And same thing on WhatsApp also. When you are on chatting with your friends, or when you are seeing whether they have checked your answer, or whether you have checked your reply. So it becomes a never ending cycle. Imagine you are not able to come out of your mobile at all. Many times you must have seen, like just recently we had French Open, which just, we had uh, Djokovic who won the match. So when you are in that zone, imagine Djokovic, he was fully focusing on the match. Even though if he was losing also, he was focusing. He won the match even after losing the first two sets. So you have to be in the zone. And that zone, imagine if you're studying, you're learning a new technology, you're learning a new chapter in your syllabus, and if you're just when you started the first two pages, and someone sends you a WhatsApp message, and you check and you reply to him, and you wonder what to reply, what he will think about what you reply, and what will the he will reply after once you reply. So all that thinking which happens, actually you have completely lost the chapter which you were studying. So you have come out of that zone. So anything you want to do in deep thinking or in depth, you have to do, you require a lot of unrestricted access to your brain. So if your brain is getting disturbed or distracted with something, it may be WhatsApp or it may be Instagram, then your chapter which you're going, you have to start from almost zero. So it's almost minus zero, because you are lost some things which you've already studied. So I would suggest that keep all your phones on silent, or keep your notifications on mute, and check your phones every half an hour or 1 hour. At least when you're studying, don't check it. So like our friend child who had come for this addiction, we found that he had withdrawal symptoms. See, imagine a person who's addicted to alcohol. If he doesn't get alcohol, he gets withdrawal symptoms. Same things happen to children who are coming to us for addiction. So they get withdrawal symptoms. They start getting restless. They start getting irritable, and there's deterioration in all fronts. They start becoming more and more I would say, like their academic performance goes down, their social interactions go down. Like our patient who had come, he had lost his friends only. He was not interacting with them. He was all the time on the internet playing the game, so he could not go and play football with them. He could not do cycling with them. So things became more and more tough as uh, he came to our clinic and said, doctor, please help me. I am losing all my friends. I'm no longer active, because this child who, even though we say Facebook and Instagram should not be used until you're certain years of age. But, we have very young people who are entering this kind of Facebook or Instagram. So this is a very bad news actually for young generation, because they want more and more followers. Like Aditya, who came to us, he had very few friends, but he wanted more and more friends to follow him. He actually almost started kind of spending money on them to make them be friendly with him. So he wanted to get invited for more and more events. This was before the lockdown, and before the pandemic, he started getting uh, almost like a paid publicity. He wanted friends to get more and more involved with him, and later on he found out that these people are bullying him also. So the so-called popular people who are on Instagram or Facebook, who are very popular, they became like bullies. They said, if you want to become friends, or if you want me to like you, you spend money on me, or you buy me pizza, or you take me out for outing. And later on, they started making him smoke. They started making him drink alcohol, and they started making him, take cannabis, weed, and all these other addictive substances. And slowly, they made him get trapped into other things also. Like he got trapped into spending money for. You must have seen a lot of these apps which are coming for cricket and other things, betting on cricket and other fantasy league and all. And he lost a lot of money. And he, like, after he started uh, losing money, he took loan from his other friends, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, and finally he turned up stealing his father's watch, and he sold that watch, and he used that money to return that money to his friends. So he got into this big trap, and things didn't end here, because what happened, he started having problems where these friends told him, chalo, let's go and meet this girl in a garden. And that girl also was not normal. She was actually taking cannabis. She was addicted to cannabis. And suddenly, Aditya fell into a big problem, because that girl started becoming very aggressive in the garden. And there were police who were there nearby, and they saw this, why this girl is behaving abnormally. They arrested her here, and she had to undergo a test, to a blood test and a urine test. They found out that she was taking cannabis, and he was also caught with them. Luckily, the police found that his urine and blood test was negative, and he was let off with a warning. And his parents and everyone who was totally shocked by all this news, that the police had to be called. And that was the time they decided that this is going out of limits. We have to do something, and take him to a psychiatrist. And good, he came to us, because in our clinic we evaluated him. Aditya was very disturbed, because when we went to his history, we found that he was suffering from ADHD. So ADHD is attention deficit hyperactive disorder, and in such kids, they are very hyperactive. Their attention span is very less, and they have a lot of like, people tease them because they are not able to focus. They look very as we say, very jumpy, or they are very fidgety, and people either tease them or bully them. So actually, these kind of kids can be, again, it's a neurochemical disorder. And when we give them medicines which improve their neurochemicals, they become very relaxed, focused. And now Aditya is doing very well in his studies. He's actually realized that what he was doing was very wrong, and he's actually feeling okay. Even if I have less friends, but they are good friends, I'm okay with it. I don't want too many friends more, because when those friends were bad, they were leading me into wrong things. So this is how much he has improved with counseling. This almost took us 6 months, but he has improved so much that he's actually helping other young people, and getting them for counseling. And his friends are also benefiting from our counseling team, actually. With this this changes which has helped him in his counseling, he has actually showed a lot of personal growth. And he has recognized that that all people have good qualities and bad qualities, and if he can recognize the good qualities from the bad qualities, he can avoid those kind of friends. And eventually, I would say that here also we've had a success story. So in this also, when we say, cyberbullying is a very big problem nowadays. Like, we have young people who are going to social media, whether it is Facebook or Instagram. They are getting bullied by sometimes their own peer groups. It may be their classmates, it may be their college mates. They some people who are little nervous or little anxious, they are easily bullied by other people. As I said, the so-called popular people on social media, they bully them. That if you don't follow us, or if you don't do as we say, we will bully you, we will trouble you. And these kind of people, they put bad remarks, body shame them, that you're very fat, look, see how you're looking, you're not looking good, or you're not fit enough to be part of a group, or we'll unfriend you. So these kind of manipulative behaviors, or these kind of uh, people are not good, actually. So I would say the bully is abnormal. The victim also is getting a lot of anxiety. We have seen a lot of people, they get depressed. because they get low self-esteem. They feel, what is wrong in my body? What can I do to make good friends? Or they have negative thinking about themselves. Whether how will I lead a normal life? What will I do if I don't have any friends? I may become a loner, or people will call me a loser. I You must have seen in the movie with Sushant Singh also was there. So these kind of movies show that people are sometimes bullied by people who are privileged, or who are uh, having a wrong idea with power. They can do anything. So these kind of threatening behavior. There's sometimes even sexual harassment, where young girls are getting trolled, or they are being abused on the internet, and so this creates a very bad impression on their young minds. So this is one of our clients who came, Divya. She was in 12th standard, and she felt she was having suffocation. She could not focus on her NEET classes. She was preparing for MBBS entrance, and she felt that what if I get a bad score? What will happen to me? If I don't get admission in MBBS? And she started getting suffocation. She started feeling, my heartbeats are very high. And then slowly she started getting more and more anxious. She started getting suffocation, sweating, and she could not focus in her studies. And when this happened 2-3 times, then the doctor felt, there was luckily a family doctor who was involved. They felt that this is not only BP, but is actually anxiety. So this anxiety is happening because of her studies. And here we actually, when we evaluated her, we explained to her that this is all because of the autonomic nervous system. So we have two types of nervous system in our brain. So one part of our brain, which is what we call as the central nervous system, this is what we are doing in our conscious brain. When we are like, if I'm raising my hand, I know I'm raising my hand. If I'm writing something, I know I'm writing something. So this is what is we call as a conscious brain. But there's also what we call as the autonomic nervous system, which is controlling our breathing, our heartbeats, our intestines. So these kind of activities are happening automatically. It's on autopilot. We don't count the number of breaths, or we don't count the number of heartbeats. It happens on its own. So this in anxiety patients, this all gets increased. The brain actually gets overactivated. So the brain sends more signals to the heart, more signals to the lungs. It's like anyone who's going for exam, how they feel, or an interview, when they feel they've got butterflies in the stomach. So actually there are no butterflies in the stomach. It is our brain which is having a increased activity in the autonomic nervous system. So here the adrenaline system is gone into an overdrive. So Divya came to us. So we discussed with her that this is what you're going through, and these panic attacks can be corrected. We gave her good medications. We gave her good counseling that this is how you can control them. And she actually became so confident. She actually wrote a book about herself, about her own story, and that book actually has now gone into publishing. Let's go to the next slide. Let us see why this comes up. Anxiety actually is actually a chain of thoughts. When it starts with low self-esteem. For example, in Divya's case, she was getting teased by her batchmates. People are teasing her, that she is fat, and she should lose weight. And this people were body shaming her again. So that's how the sweating started. That's how this tremors and all started in her. And again, in anxiety, what happens, we don't realize what we are doing. As I said, either we are in WhatsApp, we just we may chat something wrongly, we make mistakes in our chatting, we may have spelling mistakes. Or imagine in Facebook, when you're anxious, you may type something wrong. And again, as I said, the anxiety may build up on Facebook. You see, Array, I have not checked Facebook for last 1 hour. Am I missing out on something? So this actually is another, actually is almost of your age. All these students who are coming to me, they are like, Ashish came up with a similar problem. He was actually in Sydney. He was studying MBA in marketing there, and lockdown affected him badly because he started feeling that I'm doing MBA marketing, but I'm doing it from home. Like in Sydney, he was staying in a small room, and it was a very small room, completely in the lockdown. He could not come out of the house also, and all the studies were happening online only. And this kind of lockdown made him more and more depressed. And luckily, he came back to India, and he was with his family. When he came to India, he felt better. But then he lost interest in his studies. That what is the point of doing these online classes? He wanted to drop out. And when he came to us to the clinic, we found that his depression was very severe. He needed medications, and with antidepressant medications and with counseling, he started doing better. His focus became better. His concentration became better. He started rejoining the online classes from home, and he decided that let me take a break for 6 months. We gave him a certificate that he's under treatment, and he will resume his classes in Sydney after the 6 months. And during the 6 months, he's actually joined a company where he's doing very well. He's doing youth public relations marketing kind of a company where he's interacting with other youth who are like you in school and colleges, and he's doing a very good job. And he's planning to go back to Sydney once the lockdown ends. So this is what we did with people like Aditya and my other patients. I'm sure if you can also do this, let's try to do a small technique. Actually, it'll take us 5 minutes. Uh, it's a relaxation technique. It's called peace spot. I would advise all of you to close your eyes, sit in a very comfortable position. Try to just calm your mind down, relax your body, take a deep breath, slowly inhale, slowly exhale. As you inhale again, feel all the positivity which is coming inside your body. And as you slowly exhale, let out all the negative things from your system. Let your body release all the toxins. Let your mind relax. Feel the relaxation coming as a wave from your head, going to your stomach, going out from your legs, and the wave continues as you inhale slowly and exhale slowly. Try to visualize a very peaceful spot. It may be a trek which you went to, a beautiful mountain with a beautiful scenery. Try to imagine the greenery around you, the beautiful cool breeze which is coming, which is making you more and more relaxed. You can feel the cool breeze feeling pass through your face, pass through your hands, pass through your legs. And as you relax, try to imagine how the birds are chirping around the trek. You can imagine the forest area nearby. You can imagine the beautiful sunset which is happening. As you can relax and imagine the beautiful scenery, imagine as if you're in that scenery. You're imagining that situation, making you more and more relaxed. As you take a deep breath in, hold for a 2-3 seconds and slowly exhale. Take a deep breath in, count 1, 2, 3, and slowly exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds. Again, take a deep breath in, focus on your breath. Slowly exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly take a deep breath. Imagine the air entering your nostrils to your lungs. Hold it in your lungs. Slowly exhale. Let the air come out from your nostrils. As you take a deep breath in again, feel your abdomen going up. Hold for 3 seconds. And as you exhale, take your abdomen in. Take a deep breath in again. Hold. And exhale slowly again. As we feel more and more relaxed, our body will feel lighter. Our mind is feeling more calmer. Now slowly rub your face, rub your eyes slowly. Rub your fingers. Slowly open your eyes. So I'm sure you must be feeling more relaxed. This is what we call as a relaxation technique. And this is something which you can do anywhere, even at home, before you start your studies, after you have done a session of your online classes, if you want to relax, even before you go to sleep, whenever you're feeling anxious before your exam or before your presentation, this kind of technique will hardly take around 2 to 3 minutes. It will help you to calm your mind. It will help you focus better. So this is what I advise to all our students who are in the pandemic doing online studies, because you have so much uncertainty about the exams. You don't know when some of the final exams are postponed or when your interviews are going to happen, placements are getting delayed. So all these uncertainties can be handled if you help your mind to relax. Because I'm sure you're missing your friends. You're not meeting some of your friends in your classes. Sometimes people are so scared, they are scared to come out of the house because of COVID. Sometimes they feel, what if my family members get COVID? How will I survive? Suppose if I have any suffocation, is it because of COVID? Suppose if I have fever, is it because of COVID? And all the time we get a lot of news which is coming on Facebook, which is coming on WhatsApp. This is this really the treatment which is required? Sometimes we hear about vaccinations, a lot of fake news which is coming. How do we handle this kind of fake news? And in the pandemic we have seen so much grief. Sometimes our uh, we hear bad news about our relatives. Sometimes they have been critical, some of them who have expired also because of COVID. So we all go through these disturbing times. So as friends, as people who are going through this, we can all help each other. When we hear about anyone, if we can support each other, when we get a little bit of support, we start feeling better that someone is there for us. And I'm sure in this pandemic, sometimes, even though we are socially distanced from other, we can help each other by coming close to us through online medium. We can do a video call with them. So that's how Macans technology has, we want to use the technology, but use it safely. And this is something WHO has also said, that, that 20% of India may be having this kind of depression, anxiety because of the pandemic. And mental health is one of the top diseases, which almost like cancer and diabetes. Many of us, almost, imagine 20% is out of 10 people, at least 2 people are having this kind of anxiety, depression, what we discuss in today's lecture. So we have to help each other. We have to reduce the stigma. If we find anyone who is going through the anxiety or depression, seek help. Find out what we can do for them. They can go to a psychiatrist. Everyone is trying to break the barrier. You must have heard about Deepika Padukone, such a famous actress. As Sridevi was mentioning, that anyone who in a celebrity also can have depression. Deepika herself was depressed. She took counseling. She consulted a psychiatrist, and now she's spreading the awareness that anyone who's depressed should seek help. She started a foundation where people can actually get help for things like depression, anxiety. Virat Kohli himself, he being such a great performer, he's a youth idol. People look up to him for all his performances in cricket. But he himself has mentioned that sometimes when he feels depressed or anxiety, his performance goes down, and he can actually feel better when he's doing counseling. And someone from Karnataka like Robin Uttappa also has come up and explained in one of the platforms. This is very brave of him to come up and tell. He did a YouTube video, you can check on the YouTube, where he has explained that sometimes this was a time when he was one of the highest paid players in IPL, when he actually felt that he wanted to commit suicide. So this kind of a feeling came to him. He was depressed at that time, and that is the time when he decided that he needs counseling. So when he started counseling, he started performing better. And that is the time that he needs counseling, and that is the time he took actually treatment and counseling, and he did very well after that. And he performed so well that he became the most valuable player again, and actually he got the purple cap, so as the highest run scorer. So this is what we are doing in Macans, that we are doing webinars, seminars like this for other young people, workshops we are doing publicity on YouTube. We are doing some online counseling. Actually, many of our patients who are not able to come to the clinic, we are actually doing publicity actually about our online clinics also, so people can come to our clinic.
Sir, sorry for the interruption. Will you go for the full screen, sir? If possible, full screen. Start from the beginning, sir. Slideshow, start from the beginning. Then play the next slide, sir.
Okay, sure.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
How is it now?
Yeah, it's okay, sir. It's okay now, sir.
Okay, right. I'll just come to the slide where I'm there right now.
Okay, sir.
So that's why actually when we discuss that tech addiction, if it is too much, we have to do digital detoxing. So what is this digital detoxing? So sometimes too much of digital content. It's online time which you're spending already for classes. Then you're doing online research on the Google, or you're chatting with your friends or on Facebook. So almost around 14 to 15 hours you're online. So you need to do detox because so much of digital exposure has put toxins in your brain. So if you can do some digital detox, where we need to actually spend some time away from the digital content. You can go for a walk or go for some relaxation, or do play some football or cricket or something where you can actually spend time away from the screen. Because too much of screen time affects not only eyes, it causes, as I said, these kind of uh, anxiety, depression when you are spending too much time on the social media. So we have seen suicidal attempts, as we've seen aggressive behaviors. It has led to anxiety disorders. How can we prevent this kind of problems? So if you have too much stress about career, we can have career counseling. We have very good career counselors who are trained in this kind of problems, because people get confused. What should I do after this course? Suppose should I go for a post graduation? Suppose should I go for a job immediately, or should I specialize into some other faculty? Should I go into teaching? So this uh, kind of decisions depends upon your own strong points and weaknesses. So there, career counseling plays a very big role. In career counseling, we do aptitude tests. So our Macans team have career counselors where we can find out which career is the best for you. and we can give you options of careers where you can do excellence with your own aptitude, with your own capability, and this may help to prevent confusion and stress later on in your career. Another thing which you can do, as I said, is daily exercise. So even 10-20 minutes of exercise every day, even if you do simple running, jogging, simple skipping also, or doing table tennis or football or games like cricket will help you. And fix a time for a mobile game. Suppose if you feel mobile games are helping you de-stress, so they have found out half an hour to 1 hour a day helps the person to focus better, relax a little bit, and it helps them in concentration also. But more than half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours a day can actually make a person more tired, exhausted, may actually reduce their concentration in their studies and all. So fix your mobile time. Maybe you can plan a timetable, say 7 to 8 in the evening can be mobile time. So that mobile game time you can fix every day. So whenever you're studying, you will not get the craving for mobile. And as I said, most of your social media, try to keep the notifications off. It doesn't matter if you see the friends, post after half an hour or 1 hour. You can check it every 1 hour, or keep a time fixed for only mobile social media time. So what are the don'ts? So here also, when we say that, try to kind of fix what you want to watch on Google. Sometimes people, I've seen so many of my patients, they get what we call as a third year MBBS syndrome. I don't know if you have heard about third year MBBS syndrome, but this is what happens to students who are studying in third year MBBS. So when they are studying in MBBS about the cardiac system, so then they get symptoms about cardiac symptoms in their body. They feel as if they are getting a heart attack, their chest is paining, or they cannot breathe. So suppose if they are studying about uh, gastric system, if they are studying a textbook which is telling about intestines, so then they feel their intestines, they're having some loose motions, or they're having some swelling in the intestine. Or suppose if they are reading something about the brain, so they will feel they are having a brain tumor. So this is what happens to my patients who are already anxious. They are so scared. When they read something about Google, suppose they type headache on Google, so Google will tell them you are having the headache can be because of brain tumor, it can be because of something like angioma, or all these kind of meningioma. So these are all kind of brain clots or a blood clot. So these are some of the very rare symptoms or rare causes of headache. So but Google does not know what you're going through, but a person who's actually going and reading it will feel that, oh no, I have to do a MRI scan, I have to do a CT scan, I have to meet a neurologist. But the headache may be something very simple. It may be because of too much screen time, it can be because of dry eyes, it can be because of too much stress, you have not slept properly. So too much of this kind of news on Google, like now most commonly in pandemic, what do people go search on Google? It will be about the COVID, how many cases are there, or how many deaths have happened, or what are the side effects of vaccination. So all this, unfortunately, Google will put you to too many news, and once you start searching on Google, it will keep on sending you more and more uh, content about which is related to what you search for. So it will actually send you more and more news about COVID, the latest news on COVID, and people keep on searching 10 to 20 times throughout the day. And this kind of bombardment of news on Google will make you more and more sick actually, because even if you don't have symptoms, your body will start noticing something more about what's happening. Is my throat paining, is my chest paining, or am I feeling tired, or is there suffocation, is it because of COVID? I've had patients who are checking on the pulse oximeter every 1 hour, they're checking on the thermometer every 1 hour whether they have COVID. So that kind of over bombardment of Google news can cause more problems. And as I said, too much articles which are coming about COVID or vaccination can make you more and more stressed out. So the same things in WhatsApp also, you will get so many groups which are active. Maybe your college group is active, maybe your cousins group is active, your relatives group is active, and these kind of news will only come about Google, about COVID, like I said, and all these again bombarding of false fake news also may come, where you won't know what is right and what is wrong. Recently, we had a news about vaccination, that if you fake news where if you take vaccine, you may have complications. You should not take vaccines. So this kind of news is false, because so many doctors who have taken vaccines, millions of doctors all over the world, nurses have taken. All of them are doing fine. Nothing has happened to them. And same thing on Facebook. Sometimes Facebook will send you recommendations, will send you recommendations for groups which are sometimes, which are extreme viewpoints are there. Sometimes it may be again false news, fake news, and this kind of videos which are coming. So many of these videos are also false. So as lay persons, if I'm an expert in psychiatrist, I can tell you what is fake news in psychiatry. But if some fake news comes to me about say economy, or about what are the political right or wrong things which are happening, I may not know what is right and wrong completely. I'm not an expert in that, but it can affect us badly mentally, when you read about these fake news. So that is what when we say that, don't get into cyber fatigue. Too much time online when you're searching too much of this news or too much of this content, don't do that. Don't get fatigued, because sometimes, when you read about people, when we read about in cyber fatigue about all these bad news, we ourselves feel depressed. We feel anxious, and we feel more tired. So that kind of a cyber fatigue we can avoid. So what we need to do, as I said, again, calm down. Use cyberspace safely. I always say example of about when we go on space, it's like an information superhighway. So if you're going on a highway, if you're going in a fast car, will you go on a fast car? Will you drive it without a seatbelt? No. You will always wear a seatbelt. So we take certain precautions. We follow certain rules. We don't ride on the opposite side of the road. We always don't ride over. We always ride on the particular lane. We don't overtake. We don't kind of go over the speed limit, right? We are always careful on the highway. So the same thing on the information superhighway, or what we call as cyberspace. We have to be little careful. As I said, don't share your password. Follow the don't forward fake news, and don't get into bad habits. As I said, don't get into addictions, cyber addictions, as we went heard about porn, or it could be cyber games which may be addictive. So we need to be careful before we go into these kind of wrong habits. I would again like to thank everyone who has been part of this presentation. And if you have any questions, I would be happy to answer, and we could have a discussion about some of the doubts which you have.
Sure, sir. You have a question, sir.
Yeah, you can tell me. Yeah.
And before that, it is beneficial, sir. I think personally I should follow this demo, sir.
I think, yeah, it is recommended for teachers and students both.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here come the queries which have been posted by the viewers, sir. Shall I?
Yeah, sure. You can go ahead. Yeah.
So the first one, how do we exercise digital detox in a simple and easy to follow step, sir?
So I think the most easiest way, we are used to following a timetable right from our school. So if you have seen in a school how, or in a college also, we have a timetable. Like the first lecture is on maybe technology, some chapter which we are finishing. Then there's a recess. Then there's a second lecture, and then there's probably a lunch hour, and then again there's another lecture. and then we, after the lecture, we have maybe a time where we spend time with our friends. So the same timetable, even when we are doing online or when we have a holiday also, if we can make a timetable and stick it on our cupboard, that this is the time I'm going to, for timetable I'm going to follow, whether it is a holiday or not, that I want to, spend maybe 9 o'clock to 2 o'clock. I'll be on the online classes. After 2 to 3, I will probably check my WhatsApp or check my Facebook, whatever. Then probably, well, when I'm having lunch, I'll relax. I'll not be on the screen time at that time. And then again, I'll probably spend some time revising what has been studied in the class or in the college, and do my homework or my presentations. And then evening, I will give that half an hour, 1 hour for actual physical exercise. So it could be running, it could be jogging, it could be, just going for a walk in the garden. At the same time, I'll meet my friends or talk to them or discuss about what all problems I have. Or it could be, because as I said, people do a lot of Google or Facebook search. Instead of that, you sit and discuss with your friends, share your emotions, share your worries with them, and they will also give you that support. They will also give you that, their problems which they are going through, and that kind of, non online kind of activity will benefit you a lot. So this detox which is required, we need to detoxify whatever is happening in our brain when we are too much online. So this simple techniques, if we follow, it will give us a balance in our life.
Yes, sir. Thank you. But I think nowadays students is not following this.
It is very difficult being online and follow this, because many times we are actually delaying our sleep cycle also. We have seen many
Yes.
people, they sleep very late, get up very late. Some of them miss their online classes also. So that whole sleep cycle is also disturbed
Yes,
in
sir.
many people. Yeah.
Okay. The second question: how to start digital detox, sir?
So start very simple way, like as I said, like when I said about sleep also, if you want to sleep early, start making, at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, start switching off your mobile devices by 10 o'clock, because that screen time, what we call this, it has certain light, which we call as blue light, which may actually activate the brain, which will delay your sleep. The more and more you watch till late night, maybe 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, your sleep gets more and more delayed. So if you start switching off your screen time by 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, maybe listen to the music or something, where you can relax your brain. So that start can happen right from there. In morning, you can start getting up maybe early morning at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock, go for a small walk. So that start of detox can start from the beginning, and small amount of 10 minutes or 20 minutes of meditation or relaxation, that also will help you detox your mind. And if you find that you're not able to do this, then you can approach our online counseling services there at Macans. We can give you some counseling tips. We can help you with some, if you there's some medication required, we can help you with some medication also. So right from small problems also, we can help you to prevent bigger problems from happening. So it's
Okay.
not very difficult. Yes, yes.
Next, the third one, sir. Technology trends in use and detox. How to balance both in the best way, sir?
So actually, you must have seen in our newer Android phones, there are actually digital well-being apps also are there. Digital well-being, programs are there, where it will track how much time you have used for social media. So end of the day, when you see 3-4 hours you have spent on Facebook, 3-4 hours you have spent on WhatsApp. So you can keep a track on. You can use technology to help you. So technology will actually help you reduce the number of time you have spent on WhatsApp or social media. It can help you. You can download some meditation apps are there. So technology will help you help you relax your mind, help you calm your mind. So it is almost like an assistant, like how we have psychiatrists, we have counselors, we have a whole team. So technology also can be like a team player. It can help you also relax your mind, help you to focus your mind better. We have some brain gym also, which are available on the mobile apps, where you can actually train your brain. You can do certain brain exercises you must have heard about Sudoku also, like for example. So
Yes,
online
sir.
Sudoku also is there where, even your grandparents, you can teach them. That is also like an exercise, sometimes for their brain, where we can help, the elderly population, like in your family, in your house, they may be grandparents. So if they do exercises like this brain gym or Sudoku, they will prevent their brain loss, their memory loss, forgetfulness. All that can also improve. So as I said, this lecture is not only for young people, but is also for older people who are in your family. You can also tell them what you have learned in today's lecture, and even your friends who has not listened to today's lecture, you can teach them also.
Sure, sir. So you said brain jam. It's an application, sir, for
No, no.
brain.
So brain gym, yeah, brain gym. Actually, how we go to a gym to exercise our body. So the brain, there are certain apps. If you search on the Play Store, there are certain apps which are applications which are there to exercise your brain. So you can,
Okay.
do that very easily and nicely. And but there also, don't overuse it. Maybe half an hour a day is okay if you can do that. Not more than that.
Sure, sir, will do. And last one, sir. Any possibilities of digital detox center in near future, sir?
Yeah, yeah. So this is a very important questions. Like Nimhans, you must have heard about Nimhans, which is in Bangalore. This is a very big institution, which is the National Institute of Mental Health and Neurology Sciences. So they have started a center for only people who are addicted to mobile phones, or who are addicted to gaming, who are addicted to this kind of internet use, like porn addictions and all. So, like you must have heard about rehabilitation centers for alcoholism, for other addictions and all. So they are now opening up these kind of rehabilitation centers, where children who are addicted to these kind of games, or these kind of mobile games like PUBG, they can be treated, they can be counseled, they can be trained how to come out of this kind of addiction.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. That's all the
Yeah,
questions, sir, for the
yeah,
today's
thank you.
session.
Yeah, thank you, Padma.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Now I like to invite Now I like to invite Mr. Ravi Krishnan, Ed, IT training for the conclusion talk.
Okay. Thanks, Ms. Padma, for that introduction. And it's been a wonderful session again today. So, hello, people, and good morning. This has been so far the best session I personally feel, because it talks a lot about humans, and it allows us to understand ourselves. And that's where the story begins, and probably that's where it all ends also. And I really appreciate Dr. Karthik Rao for being available to conduct this session. As Ms. Sridevi Madam told, he's also my friend, my school friend. So it's an honor, it's a privilege to hear your school colleagues talk and be within the same game of life, and we learn from each other, and that's what has been a wonderful occasion for the past few days. And of course, I do thank Sridevi Madam also, and the staff and management of Dr.M.G.R. University. And yes, what all Dr. Karthik told about the depression aspects, rightfully so, it is not something which is to be kind of shied upon. It is not something. It is not a taboo. I mean, okay, we do get it. I mean, earlier it was a taboo. People did not feel it okay to visit a psychologist or a psychiatrist. But I think the modern lifestyle. These are the side effects of probably when we progress ahead in life and adopt modern lifestyle. These are the things which will matter for future generations, because the joint family system is no more there. The nuclear family system is in full mode. So when there isn't much interaction between relatives and grandparents, these things are bound to happen, because today we are into the dinks mode. Dinks, what I mean by dinks is double income, no kids, where the husband and wife are working, and the child is all alone, and he has to try to I don't know who would he talk with. So that being the case, this is where we are, and this is why these things are happening. And with the advent of technology and social media, it only accentuates the issues further on. So I really appreciate this session. Personally, I would say this is one of the best sessions. And with that, I would also like to thank the management and staff of Dr.M.G.R. University, starting with Dr. S. Geeta Lakshmi, the Vice Chancellor, Ms. S. Rajapriya, Assistant Professor, Dr. S. Nirmala Subhida Rajni, Professor, Founder Chancellor through AC Shanmugam, President ACS Arun Kumar, Provost Professor Dr. G. Gopalakrishnan, Register Professor Dr. C.V. Palnivelu, Joint Register Dr. Malini Pandey, Joint Register Dr. V. Cyril Raj, Professor and Head Faculty of Computer Application Dr. Vijay Vinod, and of course the organizing team headed by Dr. S. Radha Ramoon and his team, starting with Professor M.S.V. Vaidehi, Assistant Professor, Dr. T. Muralidharan, Assistant Professor, and Dr. N. Jayashri, Assistant Professor. And of course, I also would like to just say a few things about our own team. It's been great for the last few days. I've been supported by Sri Devi Madam and also my colleague Alfia. She's been doing a good coordination work, without whom all this thing wouldn't have been possible. And of course, all our fans who are live with us on YouTube, thanks to them also. We've been getting good feedback, and let's make it interactive. And we have few more sessions left in the forthcoming sessions, and let's make it very interesting. So with that, let me conclude and take a leave here. And over to you, ma'am, Padma.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your valuable time, sir. Great things are rarely achieved by just one person. Usually, they are accomplished by a group of people. When everyone is committed to the overall goals, team move faster, are more innovative, and more successful. Successful teamwork is essential for anyone attempting complete event successfully. We would like to share our organizing team AV. Thank you, our team. It's time to end the session. Here, there are 3 links are posted in the chat box. First link, attendance links for the students for MGR only. I repeat, attendance links for the student of MGR only. Second link, feedback link for all the students who participated in this session. I repeat the second one, feedback link for all the students who participated in this session. Third one, feedback link for the all faculties and industrial dignities and all. Third one is for faculty and industrial dignities. You have been waiting and exiting final day session tomorrow. Until then, this is Padma Priya, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Application. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.